In this video tutorial, I am going to discuss about ribozyme. Let's first see what is ribozyme. See, some RNA molecules, they can act as a biological catalyst or enzyme. So, such RNA molecules which act as an enzyme, they are called as a ribozyme. Now, things were pretty different before the year 1980s. At that time, it was believed that only proteins are capable to carry out catalysis, and so only proteins can act as a enzyme. But this concept was nullified in the 1980s. This concept was nullified in 1980s by two researchers. One was Thomas Ketch, and second one was the Sidney Altman. Thomas Ketch was working at the University of Colorado Boulder, and he was working on the ribosomal RNA processing. Whereas Sidney Altman, he was working as a professor at Yale University, and he was working on a tRNA processing. Both of these researchers, by their independent work, they established and they came forward with the theory that some RNA molecule can also act as a enzyme, and they first identified ribozyme. Okay, and because of this significant work, in year 1989, both jointly awarded Nobel Prize in chemistry. So they awarded Nobel Prize, right? Now, while Sidney Altman, he was working on a tRNA processing, he discovered one enzyme, that is ribonuclease P. This ribonuclease P, it catalyzes the conversion of precursor tRNA, which is a larger molecule, it trims down to the mature tRNA. So, this reaction was catalyzed by this enzyme ribonuclease P. Now, chemically, when this ribonuclease P was examined, it was found that it is made up of RNA and protein. Altman had demonstrated that if this protein part is removed and only RNA part is left in the ribonuclease P, then also this reaction was being done. Okay, he established that this RNA is necessary as well as sufficient to carry out this reaction, and based on those findings, he concluded that RNA can act as a enzyme. Other example of the ribozyme is the ribosome. Ribosomes, they are regarded as one of the very important cell organelle, but ribosome, it is also chemically RNA and protein. Okay, and here also only RNA part is necessary as well as sufficient to carry out their work. So ribosome is also one of the example of ribozyme. Now, before this concept came into the light, there were two group of scientists and they were studying about evolution. First group believed that very early in the evolution, the first macromolecule to be synthesized was a protein. In their favor, they were arguing that protein, they carry out catalysis. So, if life needs to be formed, then very early in the evolution, protein must be the first macromolecule, right? Then it can carry out catalysis and can give rise to other macromolecule, and so life can begin. Whereas other group of researchers, they believed that it was not the protein which was the first macromolecule to be synthesized very early in the evolution. Rather, it was the nucleic acid to be synthesized first. In their favor, they were debating that nucleic acid is responsible for the long-term storage of information, and by long-term storing information, they can give rise to RNA, that is another nucleic acid, and which eventually can synthesize protein, and this protein can be a participate in the catalysis. So this was like a chicken and egg problem. Which came first, chicken or egg? Similarly, if protein came first, okay, because proteins are responsible for the synthesis of nucleic acid. We know that in the nucleic acid synthesis, various enzymes are required. So in that way, we can say proteins must be first, so it can synthesize nucleic acid. Whereas for the synthesis of protein, the information came from the nucleic acid, right? So this problem is similar to chicken and egg problem. But as soon as this information came into the light in this 1980s, that RNA can also act as an enzyme, this debate about whether protein or nucleic acid, it ended, because ribozyme, as they are made up of RNA, they can also act as a this nucleic acid as well as protein catalyst. Okay, so it can carry out both. It can, like, for the genetic information and as well as catalysis. Both work can be done by this single molecule, that is ribozyme. And so ribozyme or RNA must be the first macromolecule to be synthesized very early in the evolution. And now this belief is labeled as a RNA World Hypothesis. RNA World Hypothesis. So that's all about the ribozyme. I hope that everything is clear. If you still have any doubt or confusion, please write it down in the comment section below. Thank you.